Welcome to Climb Stories, the place where we bring you the journeys of extraordinary people who started small but dared to dream big. Here we don't just tell success stories, we dive deep into the struggles, sacrifices, and bold decisions that turned ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies. Today, we're exploring one of the most remarkable climbs of modern times, the journey of Jeff Bezos. From packing books in a garage to building a trillion-dollar empire, Bezos' story is not just about becoming the world's richest man. It is about vision, resilience, and the courage to ignore critics when you believe in your dream. So settle in, because this is not just a business story. It's a story of risk, persistence, and the relentless drive to climb higher than anyone imagined. From packing books in a garage to building a trillion-dollar empire, Jeff Bezos' journey is not just about wealth. It is about daring to dream when others can't see the future. Every generation has its dreamers, but only a few of those dreamers have the courage to turn visions into reality. Jeff Bezos is one of them. His journey is one of those rare modern stories that begin humbly, in a small garage in Seattle, and end with the creation of one of the world's most powerful companies. Today, when billions of people shop online, stream movies, read on Kindles, and store their data on the cloud, they are all part of the empire built by Bezos. Yet, the Amazon story is not just about technology or retail. It is about vision, persistence, and a relentless belief in long-term goals. Jeffrey Preston Bezos was born on January 12, 1964, in Albuquerque, New Mexico. His mother, Jacqueline, was just 17 when she gave birth, and his biological father, Ted Jorgensen, left when Jeff was very young. At the age of 4, his life changed when his mother married Miguel Mike Bezos, a Cuban immigrant who had arrived in the U.S. alone as a teenager. Mike adopted Jeff, gave him the Bezos name, and raised him with values of resilience, determination, and self-belief. As a child, Jeff was endlessly curious. He dismantled toys, built homemade gadgets, and even rigged a small alarm system to keep his siblings out of his room. Summers on his grandparents' ranch in Texas taught him hard work, problem-solving, and independence. His grandfather, Lawrence Preston Giesa, encouraged Jeff to take on difficult projects, fixing windmills, repairing tractors, and improvising solutions. This hands-on problem-solving became the foundation of Jeff's engineering mindset. Even in high school, Jeff was dreaming beyond Earth. In his graduation speech as valedictorian, he spoke of space colonies and humanity's need to expand into the universe. These weren't idle fantasies. They were early blueprints for the vision that later inspired Blue Origin. In 1982, Jeff entered Princeton University, one of the most competitive schools in the U.S. He initially considered studying physics but switched to electrical engineering and computer science, where he thrived. He graduated in 1986 with high honors. Princeton sharpened his intellect and gave him exposure to cutting-edge computing. But more importantly, it taught him leadership and the importance of working with brilliant minds. He wasn't just learning, he was already thinking about how to apply knowledge to the real world. His passion for space continued as well. He joined Princeton's Space Exploration Club and often discussed the future of humanity beyond Earth. Now let's discuss early career building blocks of success after Princeton. Jeff had opportunities to work at top firms, and his early career shaped much of what he later used to build Amazon. Vital, 1986. Jeff's first job was at a startup called Vitel, a fintech company working on building a global network for electronic trading. He learned the challenges of scaling technology in a real-world environment. The job wasn't glamorous, but it gave him first-hand experience in the struggles and creativity required in startups. Bankers Trust, 1988-1990. He then moved to Bankers Trust, where he worked as a product manager, developing financial software to manage billions in client assets. At just 26, Bezos was responsible for complex systems, a training ground for handling large-scale operations, something that became crucial at Amazon. D.E. Shaw & Co., 1990-1994. Jeff's most influential pre-Amazon job was at this hedge fund, one of the first to use quantitative models and technology-driven trading. By age 30, Bezos had become senior vice president, one of the youngest in the company's history. Working under founder David E. Shaw exposed him to groundbreaking ideas and the intersection of finance, technology, and innovation. It was at D. E. Shaw that Jeff first stumbled upon the life-changing statistic. Internet usage was growing at 2,300% per year. That single fact ignited his imagination. Bezos pitched Shaw on the idea of an online bookstore, but Shaw wasn't convinced. The safe path was to stay in finance. But Bezos developed his regret minimization framework. He imagined himself at 80 years old. Would he regret leaving Wall Street? No. Would he regret not trying to build something on the internet? Absolutely. That realization pushed him to take the biggest risk of his life. In 1994, Bezos made the bold decision to quit his well-paying Wall Street job. He and his wife, Mackenzie, drove across the U.S. to Seattle while Jeff typed out his business plan on a laptop. Seattle was chosen because of its tech talent and access to book distributors. They rented a modest home with a garage, which became Amazon's first office. The desk was made of a door with wooden legs, wires ran across the floor, and the team often worked on the cold concrete, packing books themselves. The company was initially named Cadabra, Inc., but after realizing it sounded like cadaver, Jeff rebranded it as Amazon, named after the largest river in the world, symbolizing his vision for the largest bookstore on Earth. On July 16, 1995, Amazon.com went live as an online bookstore. Within 30 days, it had sold books in all 50 states and 45 countries. Orders grew so rapidly that the bell they rang for each new customer had to be turned off because it rang non-stop. The company's first employees worked tirelessly, often packing orders on the floor and hand-delivering them to the post office. The growth shocked everyone, but Jeff knew this was just the beginning. Books were the test case. His real vision was much bigger, an everything store. By the late 1990s, Amazon had expanded into music, DVDs, electronics, toys, and more. Jeff reinvested every dollar into growth instead of profits, which frustrated investors who wanted quick returns. But Jeff's strategy was long-term. He famously said, "We are willing to be misunderstood for long periods of time." This decision saved Amazon during the dot-com crash of the early 2000s, when countless internet companies collapsed. While others focused on short-term gains, Jeff's customer-first and long-term vision helped Amazon survive and eventually thrive. Amazon's success was built on several bold moves that Jeff personally championed: customer obsession. Bezos insisted on building trust. Fast delivery, low prices, wide selection. Every innovation served customers first. Prime membership. Launched in 2005, Prime turned customers into loyal subscribers by offering fast shipping. It redefined customer loyalty worldwide. Kindle, 2007. Jeff disrupted the publishing industry with Kindle, making books instantly accessible. This innovation secured Amazon's place as a leader in digital media. Alexa and Echo, 2014. Bezos pushed Amazon into artificial intelligence with Alexa, bringing voice-controlled smart homes into millions of households. Logistics and warehouses. He invested billions in warehouses, robotics, and delivery infrastructure, giving Amazon unmatched scale. AWS, 2006. Amazon Web Services started as an internal tool, but became the backbone of the internet economy. Today, it powers Netflix, NASA, Airbnb, and millions of businesses. AWS alone generates tens of billions in revenue, a pillar of Amazon's empire. Each of these was not an accident, but a direct result of Bezos's leadership. He pushed for experimentation, embraced risk, and demanded innovation. His philosophy: if you double the number of experiments you do per year, you're going to double your inventiveness. In 2000, Bezos founded Blue Origin with a vision of enabling millions of people to live and work in space. Critics dismissed it as a billionaire's hobby, but Bezos poured billions into it. The company developed reusable rockets, and in July 2021, Jeff himself flew aboard the New Shepard rocket, fulfilling a childhood dream. Blue Origin represents Bezos' long-term vision, ensuring humanity's future beyond Earth. In 2017, Jeff Bezos surpassed Bill Gates as the richest person in the world. At his peak, his net worth exceeded $200 billion. Under his leadership, Amazon became a trillion-dollar company, reshaping retail, publishing, entertainment, and cloud computing. But his rise was not without controversy. Critics pointed to Amazon's labor practices, market dominance, and wealth inequality. Bezos defended Amazon by pointing to the jobs created, the value delivered to customers, and the innovations that transformed industries. In 2021, Bezos stepped down as Amazon's CEO, passing leadership to Andy Jassy. He shifted focus to Blue Origin, the Bezos Earth Fund for climate change and philanthropy. Yet his legacy remains. He took a simple idea, selling books online, and transformed it into the world's most influential company. His mindset, risk-taking, and obsession with customers made Amazon what it is today. The lessons learned from Bezos's journey. Think long-term. Bezos ignored short-term profits for long-term growth. Customer obsession. Success follows when you serve the customer better than anyone else. Embrace failure. Bezos saw failure as part of innovation, not something to fear. Experiment relentlessly. Every innovation at Amazon began with experiments. Take bold risks. Walking away from Wall Street was risky, but it created history. From a garage with a door desk to commanding one of the largest companies on Earth, Bezos proved that vision, persistence, and innovation can change the world. His story is not just about money. It's about daring to dream big, taking risks, and refusing to settle for ordinary. And that was the incredible journey of Jeff Bezos. From a garage startup to the richest man in the world, from selling books to exploring space. His climb reminds us that greatness is not about where you start, but about how far you're willing to go. Now it's your turn to climb. What's the garage idea in your life? What dream are you holding back on because it feels too risky, too far, or too impossible? Remember, even Amazon began with boxes on the floor and a vision in one man's mind. If this story inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, share it with a friend who needs encouragement, and subscribe to Climb Stories for more journeys of dreamers, doers, and visionaries. Together, let's keep climbing. If Jeff Bezos could transform a bookstore into Amazon, then you too can transform your idea into something world-changing. Every empire begins small. Every great story starts with a single decision. So ask yourself, what's your garage idea? And are you ready to take the leap?